Hello everyone and welcome to the last game I'll be uploading today, but not the last game I'll be uploading from round 1 of the World Rapid Championship. I'll give you a break so you can, catch up on all the videos. It's Alireza Firouzja with the white pieces against young Krzysztof Duda, both of them on 3.5 points. So 3 wins and only 1 draw. Alireza took down Anton Korbov in round 3 and Sergei Karyakin in round 4. And now he faces Duda. So without further ado, let's check it out. It's a really awesome game. With the white pieces, Alireza opens with e4. We have d6 going for the Pirc defense, which can be quite dangerous, especially in shorter time formats, but Duda enjoys sharp positions and he wants to get winning chances regardless of playing black or white. We have d4, we have knight to f6, knight to c3 and g6 now. And Alireza goes for f4, the Austrian attack. We have bishop to g7, knight to f3, we have castles and bishop to d3. So the main line of the Austrian attack, knight to c6, and e5 now. We have captures, and knight to d5. We have captures. The knights get traded off. You don't have to worry about losing your queen since g6 was played, and queen to e2. With bishop to g4, and now you don't have time for a slow move since bishop to d4 is the threat with a double attack on the knight and the queen. So here we have bishop to e4. Alireza pushes the queen back. Queen to a5 check, bishop to d2, and queen to b6, putting pressure on the b2 pawn. Here we have bishop to c3 and rook a to d8. And it's interesting, Duda didn't really lose any time on all of his moves, and playing the Pirc against a strong player like Firouzja knows that means that he's extremely well prepared, whereas Alireza took some time playing out all of these moves. And here queen to f2 is the strongest move and is the move that it's pretty much always played in this position. But Alireza plays h3, and this allows Duda some very nice ideas. So here Duda first captures on f3, we have bishop captures, queen captures, and knight to d4 now, just attacking the queen. And also you don't want to give up your dark square bishop, since without it it's going to be really difficult not only to attack the black king, but you do need it to help out with the defense. So queen to g3, and now just f6 by Duda. And here it's really difficult to find safety for your king. If you castle kingside, well, it's just lost. You go under the mask of the queen, so any nasty discovery will win the queen, for example. If you castle queenside, then you just lose the queen right away. It's just a nice fork. And also, if you say, okay, I really don't have anything, can I just give up my dark square bishop? No, you can't, because after rook captures, your bishop is hanging, and once you move the bishop, then you get f captures on e5. And the position explodes. It doesn't really matter what you do. Captures, bishop h6 is coming. Now the rook controls the f-file, the bishop controls this diagonal. You're not castling kingside or queenside, and well, you're just getting crushed here. So after f6, Firouzja decides for bishop to d3, closes off the d file, but now f captures on e5, opening up the position. Now again, if f captures bishop h6 and you don't have any moves left to play here, black can just play whatever black wants. So here Alireza decided to give up the pawn and castle queenside now, as if you don't castle now, you're not gonna castle at all. E captures on f4, grabbing yet another pawn. So now it's 7 pawns, 7 to 5. So Duda is up 2 pawns. Queen to g4, and now queen to c5, preparing to bring the knight back to guard the e7 pawn, but also to open up an attack towards the bishop here. So we have rook h to e1, and now just knight to c6, defending the pawn once again, and also threatening just bishop captures on c3. So queen to e6 check by Firouzja, king h8, and now bishop captures on g7. We have king captures and king to b1, just getting the king to a safer square. And Duda still up 2 pawns, but the position has opened up nicely. Problem for white is that white no longer has the dark square bishop to be used for attack, and it's gonna be very hard attacking on the light squares. So rook to f6, pushing the queen back. Queen to g4, and now knight to e5, attacking the queen and the bishop. We have queen to g5, hoping for some tricks, because if knight captures on d3, queen captures, knight captures, but you lose the rook on d8. So here just rook to d5. Now there are some nasty discoveries threatens here, of course. Bishop to e2, offering a trade of rooks, but now without even pausing the video, of course, you see knight to d3. A nice discovery that threatens the queen and also the rook on e1. And this is where the fun really starts. Here, Firouzja gives up the queen. Queen captures on d5. We have queen captures on d5, and now not capturing the knight right away, but first the bishop to f3. Kicking away the queen, and now it's perfectly fine to move away the queen and then recapture on d3, and you have a bishop and a rook against the queen. So you will of course try to hold this, but Duda plays something remarkable. He plays queen captures on f3. He gives the queen back. Point being that if g captures, you get knight captures, rook captures, and after king f7 defending, you have again 6 pawns to 5. It's a completely winning game for black, and Duda is very confident that he will convert the 2 extra pawns. So Alireza decides for rook captures on e7 instead. He will grab yet another pawn before trading queens. We have king to f8, the only move. You have to make a move with tempo with an attack on the rook. G captures on f3, and now king captures on e7. And here rook captures on d3. C captures on d3 is the only way to continue the game. However, you were down a pawn, you don't want to mess up your pawn structure even further. So here Alireza played rook captures on d3, but it now is just completely lost. So feel free to pause the video now and try to find the winning move for Duda in this position while I give you a couple of seconds. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on knowing your endgames. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, rook to d6. This is what Duda played, and it was in this position on move 31 that Alireza Firouzja resigned the game and he took his first loss of the tournament. Whereas Duda continues to go on 4.5 out of 5, and he joins the leaders of the tournament. Here it's it's not playable. If you move the rook, you get mated. That's the point. That's why Alireza resigned. And if you trade rooks, it doesn't really help you. Captures, and of course you have to know that the king and pawn endgame is winning. Simply, it takes very, very few moves for black to clean up these pawns, and white just doesn't have any counterplay. So it's basically enough to just let's say pick up the h pawn, defend this guy, and push the h pawn to victory. There's nothing white can do about that. So really insane stuff, and it's really even more impressive that after bishop to f3, Duda decided to go for this queen captures on f3. I mean, yes, of course you are a very strong grandmaster. You are confident in your endgame skills, but still, giving up a queen like that, just not something you see very often. Not something. I don't think it's something anyone would do. So that's what makes it even more impressive. But yeah, before we forget, we do have the standings after 5 rounds. Like I said, we are going to show at least a couple of more games from round 1. So here they are. With 4.5 points, Van Hao, Ilyas Mirin, Shahriar Mamedyarov, Young Krzysztof, Duda, and Linier Dominguez. So 5 of them with 4.5 points. Followed by 4 points, Magnus Carlsen, Gadir Guseinov, Alexander Zubov, Lequang Liam, Danil Dubov, Alexander Motilev, and Maxim Vashyel-Lagrave. Those are with 4 points. Then with 3.5, Daniel Friedman, Alexei Shirov, Anish Giri, Alexander Ryazantsev, Levon Arenan, Pavel Pankratov, Paco Vallejo, Yan Nepomniachtchi, Alexander Grishuk, Shamsirin Vokshidov, Nikita Vityugov, Peter Svidler, and Hrant Melkumyan. So those are the top 25 players, and you can see all of them are grandmasters, and even one international master made it to the top 25, Shamsirin Vokshidov. So yeah, there you have it. Those are the standings. I do hope you enjoyed that and that you've enjoyed this game. Tough break for Alireza, losing a game with the white pieces, but you can't win them all. And it's really impressive how Duda, really a sharp player, goes for the Pirc against such an aggressive player like Alireza. Really enjoyed that. But yeah, I would like to thank Doug McNabb, Edward Baker, Maxim Pisanenshi, 1998, and Torrance Fike for your contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot, I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. They will be from this tournament, of course. And we are going to cover more of the games from round 1, and we are continuing the coverage for the next 4 days from the World Rapid and Blitz Championship. So thank you all once again, and I will see you soon with well, what we've just discussed. So have an excellent rest of your day.